Good evening and hello world. Welcome to another installment of the United Hour. Well, today's program is the breakdown where we go through and analyze everything concerning United's last match. And in that today's case, that is going to be the draw with Chelsea. Chelsea won, Manchester United won. And on this program, we're going to be breaking it all down. So I want to go around the conference. So Devin, what was your reaction to the match? How did you feel about it?
Well, hi, good night, everybody. And so, going into that match, I said that I actually would have been real happy with a draw with the way Chelsea have been playing and especially how they look midweek. But after seeing that match, I actually felt that we could have won that match. I also felt that Chelsea had opportunities to win that match as well too. And I have to say the draw was a fair result, but I still feel if we had taken more opportunities that we could have won that, especially with that one where Fred pressed the ball and he had Ronaldo open, and then he decided to simply try to chip Mendy or something like that.
Well, we're
But
gonna we're gonna break down the details of the match a little later, and we're
but
definitely gonna be talking about Fred.
oh,
So
definitely.
where's that noise coming from?
Real loud in my ear too.
It's loud
Um,
in everybody's
yeah,
ears.
shoot. With these headphones on, shoot. But yeah, so it was at the end of the day a draw. I'll take it. It's not a loss, so just gotta move on from there and look forward to Thursday now.
Tino, how you felt about our result?
Personally, I enjoy the draw because I think it's the result that we it's not the result that we needed. Obviously, we went there and we still tried to sort out a win, but we weren't able to. But definitely, how the team was set up, I think it was necessary for the fixture. It was necessary for the fixture because currently we know the team is not in the best of moments, and currently, I mean, we were playing the European champions after all. So I think Carrick's whole ideology was to go there and not be embarrassed, not be overrun, and I think it was executed perfectly. And we go again. I think against Arsenal we're gonna see we're gonna be a bit freer and a bit more attacking against the likes of them.
So I wanna bring Raul into this convo. Raul, I for one think that Chelsea was lucky. I think they got away with one. Devin seems to think it was a fair score, fair result, and but what was your take on it? How do you feel about it?
I was frustrated in the first half watching the game. I was frustrated because I was just frustrated, but based on I know what the setup, what the plan was, but I was frustrated in the first half. But getting to the first half, I was happy that we didn't concede. Second half, we could have put them away. We should have had two and possibly a third, but we will talk about that later on. But I honestly think Chelsea ended up scraping to get a draw. That's my take on it. They scraped to get a draw.
You
We
can't
were
say that, Raul.
No. You know why? You know why I say it like that? Because all our press, all them corners, all them things, we defend. We defended well. I don't want to go into no. I find we
I fully
defended.
agree. I fully agree.
We
I fully
defended. We
agree.
defended well. And I see it as well because we played to that plan. We played to that plan, and as you said, Tonio, it was executed well. Don't mind how ugly it looked, it was executed well. I don't talk.
so on the church that comment. Let's head into the first half as Raul was talking about. Good afternoon to Chris and to Lee joining us in the comments. That first half, I could understand the whole concept of it being frustrating to look at because I wasn't frustrated to look at it because one of the things Manchester United has been lacking is structure. And I could see defensive structure. I could see notable changes in this game than how we were playing 3 games ago. So that for me, I was excited by it. My only hope was, can we continue to do this? Can this continue to work until we get a break to score? Because obviously we were planning to hit them on the counter. So I'm like, is this going to keep working? Or, is this going to, stop working? I didn't know. And I was glad to go in halftime at 1-1. So for me, the first half was underwhelming in terms of us attacking, but in terms of the discipline, in terms of the shape, one of the things I saw in that game that I haven't seen in a little while is frustrated Chelsea players. I could see Chelsea actually becoming frustrated that they were unable to break us down. Anybody else notice that?
I fully agree with you. And that's what I said. I love how we actually, I think our aim going into that game was to stop their fullbacks. And I think we did that perfectly. I don't think that Reece James had much of a say in the game. And well, we know Chilwell was injured and Alonso came in, who is not a bad replacement either. And we completely stopped them on that side. We allowed them to try to play through the middle and break us down if they needed to. But definitely they were frustrated. And that's why at halftime at 0-0, I was in a good moment still, simply because we kept ourselves in the game and we weren't overrun. And this is a well-organized and a well-drilled team. So it was a definite plus for me.
All right, cool. Anybody else notice that frustration on the Chelsea players' part? Before Devin or Raul weigh in on this, we were at a bar in San Fernando, right? We were at Mikel's bar in San Fernando, and there was a small group. There was a large group of United supporters, but there was a small group of Chelsea supporters. And the best way sometimes to gauge how a team is doing is to look at their supporters. Mm-hmm. And those guys were kind of hitting the bottle kind of hard. One would think that they were these fellas in control, they're having all the ball, but not just the players were frustrated, but the Chelsea supporters were also frustrated because they, you kind of realize we're not creating the kind of shots. We're not creating the opportunity. Yeah, we're having a lot of ball. We're knocking around the ball. We're dominating the play, but it's not really producing shots. David De Gea had a couple saves to make, yes, but literally a couple. It wasn't like they had a lot of shots, but very few on target. You know what I mean? They weren't top quality shots. I mean, Devin, I know you are at a location as well. I saw some Chelsea supporters in the background. Well, how were they reacting to the first half?
They were out there cussing De Gea, saying if it wasn't for De Gea, that would be 3-0 up and everything too. And I said, I don't disagree at all with that statement at all, because De Gea is back to playing like the De Gea that we know he's capable of. But yeah, they were saying it too, that they should have been up, and they were definitely getting frustrated. Normally, they like to chant a lot, especially now that they're European champions, and they weren't chanting that yesterday. And it's funny because a couple of weeks ago, right after we got destroyed by City, and all of them are saying, can't wait to play you lot, and then went out there and they couldn't get the result. So it's just funny how life works that way too.
Raul, I am sure you have some men who have your number. Some Chelsea men that have your number.
That was good on.
Right? And
they were very quiet.
Well, this is what I'm not going to say. I'm not going to say that, they also know how men feel about a result when they decide to message you or not. Because I remember when we get hammered from Liverpool, it had Chelsea men call, not just messaging, calling my number. Men who don't calling me, boy, what's your name? And talk. Crickets yesterday, not one Chelsea message. Not one message yesterday from a Chelsea man.
I'm telling you, and they have this one particular guy, a classmate of mine. He lives in New Jersey. Every time every time I check my school group, WhatsApp group, anybody check up on Raul all right? It's 5 they get to know. It's 4 they get to know. So yesterday, I went in the group. I see the man, he ain't post nothing about football. He post something about COVID, and a man went to a COVID party to get herd immunity and things. So I take that to task for one time. Man, his clapback was, what? You on top of the table?
Of course.
Yeah, I know they lost to Watford. And my response to that was, I say, you better stop while they could, because they're making it worse because all they can beat us. Said he Friday.
Yes, saying you lost to Watford and saying you on top. Those sound good when the fact is you're on top and we lost to Watford and Ole couldn't beat us. So
Yeah, definitely.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know? So and to me, for all the people who would like to say or suggest that we didn't play well and whatever, that's why I bring up these fans and I bring up these supporters, because the way supporters react, supporters know when their team really dominated. And Chelsea may have had a lot of ball possession and they had a lot more shots than us, but they really didn't dominate the game. You know what I mean? So I let's go and talk about the stuff we really want to talk about. Let's start off with that Fred penalty shout. Anybody here thought that was a penalty?
Not at all.
No.
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
Wasn't enough.
Now, I don't disagree with anything with that opinion. And the reason I don't disagree with that opinion is because a couple of weeks ago, Kante did the exact, no, not that, that's with ours. Sorry, let me hold that back. That's with ours. So let's go to our penalty shout. A couple of weeks ago, Kante did the exact same thing. Looking to clear the ball, ended up going through the back of a player, right? Not intentionally, unintentionally. And a penalty wasn't called. The exact same thing happened to Wan-Bissaka and Silva, and a penalty was called. Now, I am being very honest with you. Did he kick the man's foot to get to the ball? Yes. Is it a foul? A soft one, but yes. But my thing is, if the referee a couple weeks ago saw the exact same tackle and didn't call it, then there needs to be consistency. One.
Agreed.
And two, I am 100% sure if that referee didn't call the foul, VAR was never going to overturn that.
I also felt in this match that ref was also giving them a lot of questionable calls. And I was trying to figure out if that was due to the fact that Chelsea fans have been speaking real bad about him for many matches. And I kind of feel that the pressure was kind of getting to him a bit, because I thought the officiating was shocking.
Yeah, go ahead with Raul. I see a bob in your head, Wayne.
The calls were, it was a bit frustrating, because they look at some of the things that our players would have gotten a card for, and the Chelsea players weren't getting it. Some similar and even worse. And it's a shame to see that every season you go through these inconsistencies. People like to call and say, "Oh, United." There's like to talk that, oh, they are the penalty champions and all this kind of bacchanal and foolishness. But here, what? It comes down to the consistency and the quality of the officiating. And I think English officiating has been poor for the last few seasons.
Before you weigh in, Tonio, I wanna say this. It is no when officials realize that they're officiating poorly. You will notice that the last 20 minutes of the game, after the penalty shout, there was a notable shift in the officiating. Did you notice the referee was giving us all of a sudden more calls, and the officiating seemed to be more, I don't know if I alone noticed this, but the last 20 minutes of the game, the officiating seemed to be more balanced for me. And I tell something tells me in the back of his mind, after he gave the penalty, he was like, boy,
he messed up.
Really, I think I spoiled this game here, you know. I think I got too involved and I making the game instead of being just the official of the game. Anybody else notice that, or am I alone?
And don't even get me started on McTominay's yellow card, because
that's exactly what I was going to speak about. Yes. But the worst part about it, Devin, was the simple fact that right after that yellow card, that Chalobah made a foul on the other end in a dangerous situation where he held back. He deliberately held back Marcus Rashford, I believe, and he got absolutely nothing. I'm talking about one transitional moment to the next, and there was nothing. So I think after the penalty, I definitely agree with you, Chad. There was a shift in the change in terms of the officiating of how the game went about. A lot more calls were allowed to go. The game was allowed to be a bit more, a bit more free flowing. But the officiating definitely for the game, it was a bit untoward. And I mean, Chelsea were home. So you know how football goes. Sometimes I believe these refs believe they are like the they are controlling the orchestra in terms of the calls and what they allow and what they don't.
I don't mind home call advantage, I
As
don't
long
mind
as
home
it's
call
fair.
advantage, but it should not be to the point where it actually looks unfair and where I can tell where your officiating change. Where I could
Definitely
see that from one part of the game, the way your officiating changed from how it was, then it means that what it was doing before was blatantly unfair. You understand? That is the problem. It shouldn't be so obvious. So for guys who tuning in, remember to like the video. Remember, for all of those people checking us out on MUSC, Man United Supporters Caribbean Facebook page, that we are streaming also on YouTube. Streaming on YouTube just check out, search The United Hour and you will find us. Make sure and subscribe into our YouTube channel so you would always be updated when we have videos online. So let's get into the goal, guys. I think that the way we were pressing, the way we were disciplined, and our structure is what facilitated that goal. Now, I've heard some people say that it was the pressure from Sancho and Rashford that caused Jorginho to mistrap the ball.
Did you hear what Tuchel blamed it on?
Yes.
I'm going to come to you first, and you definitely bring that up. To me, I don't think it was the pressure. I think he just mistrapped the ball because he thought he had time and space. Anybody could mistrap a ball, but he didn't expect. What I think is that the pace of Sancho and Rashford surprised him.
Correct.
After the mistrap. It's not that he saw them coming and it made him mistrap. After the mistrap, he was like, but Richie are ready? All you have boosters and all your foot on, all you reach here so fast. That's the way I saw it. But Devin, before we break that down, what did Tuchel say about that? Because I did see it online, but you go ahead and as you brought it up, you go ahead.
So he basically blamed it on the lights at Stamford Bridge and said that Jorginho potentially got blinded by the lights. Honestly, that reminded me of a Jurgen Klopp excuse.
Of course, definitely.
Because I forget one time he blamed it on the grass being too long or something like that before. Something about it was too windy on the pitch. Another one, it's just that to me was up there with with some of Klopp's excuses right there. You play in that ground 19 times a season. Like you should know how you would know, be careful with balls like this or whatever, and then adjust as need be. That to me, it was just a mistouch. And and like you said, he got caught off guard by how quickly that Sancho and Rashford countered on that. To me, it was just a mistouch. And like you said, he got caught off guard by how quickly.
Raul, run through that goal for us. Break that goal down in your own unique way.
Boy, this is my Old Trafford inside here, right? Sit down at the edge of my bed, and I'm watching, and I see the ball come up, and then I see this Gerrard move, boy, and I say, "Oh gosh, they kill him, kill him!" I see us, kill him. And when I see that, and I see the bed, I say, "Yes." Nah, but the man mistrapped the ball. He mistrapped the ball. And that Michael Morris excuse he gave, they make it no, it's not working. It's not working. Because he say when somebody posts out in our group today, I say, but he playing there all the time. Or you could tell me the lights, you do tata. You understand? Take it.
Tonio, when you saw Sancho running down the road with Rashford, did you expect him to pass off the ball? And were you satisfied with the final decision making?
I was totally satisfied with the decision making because he deserved it. It was his. It was his. It was the goal came based off of his effort. Now, granted, Rashford was pressing the same as him very hard, but I beg to think that if it were the other way around, I'm telling you that Marcus Rashford was not going to pass to him either. He worked for the goal, he received the goal, he was in a good position to score, and most importantly, he took it. That's what great players do. You can't do something like that in a situation like that and not score. So the fact of the matter is, he did, and there's no question about it. No question about it. He made the perfect decision.
I also think that when you watch the replays on that goal, that Mendy was thinking that he was going to pass it off, and if
he was going to pass it off.
That you see Mendy starting to anticipate that, and I think Sancho caught that and then slotted it past.
But Sancho hit him the little hip swivel. He hit him the belly dancer. He hit him the belly dancer. You understand?
The guy who made the mistake, Gregory, is saying that that's the same man they wanted to win the Ballon d'Or in terms of Jorginho. What I like about the goal, about the finish, was the composure. Because to me, passing of the ball should have always been dependent on what the goalkeeper did. The minute the goalkeeper thought he was going to pass and the goalkeeper flinched this way, you finish. And the truth be told, when you see from the front, it looked easy. But when you saw the angle from behind the goal, and you realize the small space that he had to pass to shoot the ball into, you realize how good of a goal it was. It was a very well taken goal by Jadon Sancho. And I really think, do you guys think we finally seeing the Jadon Sancho that we paid for? Do you guys feel that way?
He's gonna keep rising and rising. It took him some time to settle, but he's going to keep rising and building because he's building his confidence. He's building into the games that he played, coming up to speed. He worked very hard. He worked very hard on Sunday. He had a good game. With all the goal, had a good game. You're seeing that effort. You're seeing that desire. I am a Manchester United player, and I want to win. You understand? And you're seeing it, and he's gonna continue.
Good afternoon to Marvin Sylvester. So what was the next? After that goal, Chelsea obviously raised the game. And I say they raised the game, not that they were playing poorly before, but they raised the intensity.
Correct.
And they still did not create many good opportunities. A lot of shots again, but nothing. To me, they had less to do in the second half than he had to do in the first half. And the second half was when they were more intense. So, it really wasn't, that big of a deal. So, Wan-Bissaka, we spoke a little bit about the penalty already. So, we all agree that it was soft. Everybody agrees the penalty was soft.
I think it was soft. I think it was soft, but I definitely think that it was avoidable also. I don't think that people realize a bit about one. When one gets a bit tired, he loses a bit of awareness, because this isn't the first time that he's done this, He did this already, but he got away with it the last time. I can't remember against which team it was. But you have to realize that football isn't only played on the pitch. As a player, you have to have a certain level of football IQ. What Thiago did on Sunday was showing you football IQ. He knew he could not have done anything with the ball, but he knew that as long as I got my foot in front of his before he got to that ball, there was a possibility of a penalty. And so said, so done. And these little things are what good players do. That's an experienced player there. And one has been caught yet again. So I hope it's something that he kind of gets in tune with and eradicates out of his game. But it was still a soft penalty. In this day of modern football, it was definitely a soft penalty. Definitely.
So at that point in time, we had the next best chance in the game. And that would be a 3-on-2 with Fred. I believe it was Sancho. No.
Ronaldo.
It was Fred, Ronaldo, and somebody else. Who was the third player we had running up?
Could have been Jesse. Was it Jesse?
Possibly. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But you had Fred there, you had Ronaldo there. You had
Lingard was the trailing person.
right. You had right. I'm seeing in the comments that they're saying Lingard, right? So Lingard was the trailing person. You had two defenders from Chelsea and the goalkeeper. And Fred decides to try to chip, in my opinion, one of the best, on present form, the best goalkeeper in the league. Right? I rate him as the only goalkeeper that is outperforming the here because the kind of saves I see Mendy make every week. I mean, you're open to disagree with me, right? But the kind of saves Mendy does be making, they look really good. Tell me what was going through Fred's mind. Somebody, tell me.
Honestly, I think he was trying to cross and miss it.
You think he was trying to cross
and miss it? Because Fred's been known to do that before too, and that was just that's the only thing that makes sense in my head for why he would do such a thing. Because Mendy was on his line. Mendy's also about 6'6", and you think you're gonna chip him like that? Nah.
I think what happened there, Devin, was I think Fred saw his name in I think he saw his name, spread across the back pages of the newspapers. I think that's what he saw. I think he saw a moment where, he could have done something special, and unfortunately he isn't one for doing a lot of special things too often. So, but the type of game that he had, he was one of our best players on the pitch, and it was unfortunate that he chose the wrong decision in that moment, but I won't fault him for it simply because as hard as he worked, he deserved an opportunity to try something, but it was not the smartest. But I think he's not only at fault for it. I think a lot of our United players aren't smart in a lot of critically important moments. Mason has been culpable for that a lot. Rashford has been culpable for that a lot. But definitely it wasn't the best decision by Fred. But I mean, you can't. Or like my hands when he face up, because this was the moment where we could have, spent the game on its head, and he chose to do that. But just based on performance on the day,
Ronaldo was
wide open.
Ronaldo was living.
Raul, when they showed the replay from an aerial angle, the pass would not have been an easy one, and the pass wasn't on. But my challenge for Raul, I want you to weigh in. My challenge with Fred is, if the pass not on, right, and Lingard still coming onto the play on the far side, nobody is on you. There is no pressure for you to do something right then and there.
And that's it.
Cut back. Wait for Ronaldo to make his run, because Ronaldo was making a run, and if he just held back one more second, it would have been an easy pass. So, what was going through Fred's mind? Go ahead, Raul.
First things first, I was too busy beating up on the bed to see no replay, because I was so vexed what you do. I threw a tantrum because of that. But but on all seriousness, just to answer Devin, you say Fred went to try for a cross, but then he decided to try for the shot because he might have found Ronaldo. The man play good. I've been telling people this, and I've been saying this since the second international break. Fred has been one of our best and consistent players, but everybody want to beat him down. But we are slowly getting Fredinho, slowly, and he's going to be a critical player moving forward for the season. Mark my words.
Definitely.
Mark my words. But Sunday, what's that? Sunday is like you hear Kanye in your head, order the lights. That one went on with him. That's what I can say.
Marvin Sylvester is saying that Fred should have tried a proper shot.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that also.
That was also an option.
That was an option. Yeah.
To be honest with you,
because you could spam with
any one of those things, not the impossible pass to Ronaldo. I don't expect him to try that. Holding the ball, waiting for Ronaldo to make a run, or even putting your laces through it, trying to put it to the left or to the right.
Correct.
Something. other than what he did. Because, as
Yeah.
Devin correctly said, you are tall as a tadpole, and you trying to chip a man a foot taller than you. Come now, man. Behave
I
yourself.
think he expected Mendy. I think he expected Mendy to come towards him. But Mendy held his ground, and I think, but he took probably the worst possible decision that he could have probably made. I mean, even take a shot, force Mendy to save. We could have gotten a deflection where the ball got back to one of our other players. Something. It was probably the worst decision he could have made. But all he could have done was laugh at the end of the day. All you could have done was laugh at the end of the day.
No, but here now.
Indeed.
Even a proper two punch in that situation.
Yeah, something.
Because my reason why I agree with Marvin Sylvester's point is that even if he hit it straight at the keeper with enough force, he would not have been able to hold it. So at least you might get a ricochet. You see Ronaldo running.
Correct.
We could have something positive could have happened if he made another decision. But it is what it is. So we will move along. So guys, who are these standout players for you? In terms of Manchester United players, who was the standout player or players? You could go one or you could go two, that really stood out for you that you said, well, yeah, boy, this person is laying claim to being a regular under the coach to come, because we have to remember we're going to have a new coach. We have to remember that. So, we may see some rotation. We don't know what we're going to see as yet. But who really stood out for you in this game?
David De Gea.
That sounds like a consistent. I think almost every game we could say that. Raul, who for you?
Fred, Sancho. Fred and Sancho mainly. Eric Bailly and Lindelof. I think what call him in the group? I call him Bildelof. Bildelof.
We didn't talk about those guys, but those guys put in a really good shift.
Yes.
They were immense.
Tellers was a little shaky and out of position at times, but you could see the desire and the effort was there.
But he did enough.
Yes,
he did enough.
Definitely.
What about you, Tony? Who was the player for you?
For me in particular, it would have to be. I would choose two. It would definitely be Sancho and Fred, simply because of the effort and what they were doing off the ball. It wasn't just the on the ball work, but what they were doing off the ball. They were working tirelessly. I was frustrated with Marcus Rashford at times because it's like, come on, man. You present yourself as one of the fittest on the team, the strongest, and your his work rate in the team was poor, and it started to cost us later on when he stopped tracking back on the left hand side and maintaining the shape. So I wanted him to actually come off and let Jesse Lingard come on, but he took off Sancho instead, which I could not understand. But of course, when he took him off, what happened? We lost the threat on top, and he then had to bring on Jesse for Rashford anyway. But definitely Sancho, definitely Fred. I think they have, most importantly, they have the right attitude, which is what I think the coach is going to be looking for first and foremost, and they're going to push forward from that. I mean, Eric and Lindelof, they were immense on the day. But I think the entire team, how the team played together as a team, not individual players, but as a team, is what was most important.
Yeah, see, Carlton come in and say you're going to be defending Fred. Carlton, you don't want to defend Fred. Nobody ain't really say anything bad about Fred. As a matter of fact, to most of us, Fred had a very good game. And, put himself down as being very instrumental in what's going to be happening under the new coach. So the Manchester United finally announced, officially released some, a statement on Twitter, also via the app on the website, officially welcomed Wreck-It Ralph to Manchester. Now, that being said, he is not in England as yet. They're still working on his transport documents. All of this at the because of Brexit. Things don't happen as fast. Before Brexit, he could have just jumped on a plane and land in the UK. Now they had to do paperwork. But we expect that to be sorted out quickly enough. The concern is that he may not be here in time, meaning he might be here before Thursday or by Thursday. But obviously, if you land the day before, we do expect you to take charge of the team, right? I don't know. So we'll see. Hopefully,
He goes sit down in his stand.
hopefully he'll be able to do some work with these guys sooner rather than later. But guys, me saying that, I want to move to this other point. Michael Carrick has done what I expected him to do. You know, there are a lot of people that was like, oh, they fire Ole and they leave everybody else. The team will play the same way. The team will line up the same way. They will do the same crap. And I always said, Michael Carrick, leave. You have to wait and see. You can't judge an assistant coach or the coaching staff when they are elevated and assume that they're just going to do the same thing. Because the head manager, the manager is, you know, people manage differently or would coach differently. Michael Carrick has had one win and one draw against arguably the toughest team in the Champions League group and the team that is on top of the table. How do you rank Michael Carrick's leading the dugout so far? Devin, we'll start off with you.
So I actually think he's doing a great job. He made sure that we won the Champions League group. And it's also, like I said before, I'm pretty sure I'm not the only United fan who said if we left Stamford Bridge with a draw before the match, that we would take it. And so
that was my prediction. My prediction was a draw.
I predicted a 1-1 draw as well too. So I was actually very. I was surprised that. I knew it was gonna be a low scoring match with Mendy and goal, and I said we'd be lucky to get a goal. And I also felt that we were due for a defensive mistake, which unfortunately Wan-Bissaka's penalty was that. But yeah, I think Carrick is doing a great job so far. But I think it's also good that Ralph is coming in soon because
how would you rank Carrick on 0 to 10? 10 being excellent and 0 being horribly poor. How would you rank Carrick?
Right now, probably about somewhere between a 7 or 8.
Raul, what was your thoughts on Carrick on the 2 games in charge?
He obviously has taken the road of I am doing what I have to do. I will make my decisions based on my experience, and he has taken some tough decisions and probably not popular decisions, and based on how he set up, especially against Chelsea, by taking those types of decisions, it leads back to what we kind of mentioned the last time on a Thursday, where I stated where I felt that there were some differences in opinion and what should have been done between Ole and Carrick. So he now has that opportunity to express himself as a manager, and he is taking it. I am what he has done. He has stabilized the team in a sense based on what our performance, especially on Sunday. It was a little shaky on Wednesday last week. It's Tuesday or Tuesday. Even though we came out 2-0 winners, it was still shaky for the first 40 to 60 minutes.
David De Gea definitely had more work to do that day.
Right. But Sunday, even though it was frustrating, it was good to see the compact nature of the team.
And how would you rank him out of 10?
Out of 10, you go get a little 7.2 right now.
All right. Carlton is saying 6. Carlton is saying 6 out of 10. He should have kept Sancho in the game. I agree with that. Sancho, I thought the first sub to make would have been Rashford instead of Sancho, but it is what it is. So, Antonio, Raul was saying that he wasn't afraid to make big decisions. In his first game in charge, Bruno Fernandes was on the bench. In his second game in charge, Cristiano Ronaldo was on the bench. You know, what do you think that says about Carrick's, you know, cojones? And
that's just it. If anybody knows me, I was a big supporter of Ole, but one of the main things I criticized Ole for was lacking cojones, you know, grapefruits, you know, having a bit of balls to make tough decisions or make decisions that may go against the grain. And in 2 games Carrick did that. In 2 games, he did that. He dropped 2 lot of people would have thought to be our most valuable player in Bruno in the Champions League game, and he dropped Ronaldo, which nobody expected, which a lot of fans gave us no chance. They were already accepting defeat when they saw that CR7 was not a part of the lineup. I applaud Carrick for approaching the two games differently, because you have to understand as a good coach what different games require and the moments that you're in as a team. And I think he understood that team. And I would give him an 8 out of 10 simply for having the balls, for dropping certain players, bringing certain players into the team, creating a sense of competition, which naturally raises the level. So for that alone, I think that he should go to one of the championship team and probably get on one of their staff. I know most likely he's going to be around, but if he wants to advance his coaching career, he can definitely go there. I think he has a good mind, and we'll see. But definitely, I'll give him an 8 out of 10 for the last 2 games.
So 8 out of 10 from you, 6 out of 10 from Carlton. So, and then most everybody else is 7, and I will give him a 7 myself. So we'll call it a solid 7. 7 out of 10 isn't bad. We're not talking about the Arsenal game, but I do expect, if he's in the dugout, for us to come out way more attacking in that game, because Arsenal is not Chelsea.
Definitely.
Right?
Definitely.
Chelsea is definitely ruling the roost as far as London clubs go right now. And anybody else, we should be running at them. So guys, we're looking to shut it down. I want to encourage everybody taking us in on Facebook. We're going to be totally switching to YouTube, in terms of we're not going to be having these shows on Facebook anymore at the end of December. So, get used to checking us out on YouTube, The United Hour. Like and subscribe. Also, we have press conference reaction coming up after the press conference, which most likely will be on Wednesday. It might be tomorrow, I'm not sure. And we're going to have a match preview on the Arsenal game, breaking down how we should approach it, formations, the full works. We're going to be having that show on Wednesday, because the game is on Thursday, and we're going to be talking about the game on the next big show, which is going to be the United Hour on Thursday, which is every Thursday. So guys, any parting words?
Keep that red flag flying high.
Say that again, Tony.
Damn right. I would definitely say that I think we're in a better moment this Monday that a lot of United fans thought we would have been in. I really think that a lot of Chelsea fans, what's the main reason why Chelsea fans were a bit somber, is because I think they expected to embarrass us, and they did not get the opportunity to do so. I think that's the major part of it. So I think, as waking up as United fans today, we were definitely feeling a bit prouder, definitely wearing the badge, because the team fought yesterday, and that's all that we want to see sometimes.
For sure. Raul?
Yeah.
As opposed to what JJ say on JJ post on Facebook, these Manchester rats celebrating a draw. It was not a matter of celebrating a draw. We were just celebrating our team and the fact that they showed some gumption, some testicular fortitude and character. It's not about Chelsea. It would just happen to be Chelsea, right? But it's not about Chelsea, and that's what we happy about. I am pleased. And I'm quietly. I know, as I told my people, my Arsenal people, who started to talk now, and men say, "Oh, thing." I said, "No." I said, "Listen, I lay no expectations, none." I said, "I will only speak after the game. Let's see what happens." That is it.
A lot of people, where we were, the sports bar we were at, we were singing "Glory, Glory, Man United." The Chelsea men were sitting down quiet in the corner, looking like, pour me ones. And, it is very easy for people to say, "Oh, Manchester United celebrating a draw." When you come off the back of losing 5 in your last 7 Premier League games, it's 5. That was the record of our last 7 games. When you moved from being third, so if we had lost that game, possibly dropping out of the top 10 in 4 weeks, I mean, getting a draw against the team that is on top of the table is definitely an achievement. Overall, in the large scale of things, Manchester United getting a draw against Chelsea means nothing. But in the context of this moment in history, of where Manchester United is right now,
Right now.
in this transition, without a head coach in the dugout, we should be celebrating our 1-0. We should be.
25 games ago at Chelsea, a staunch Chelsea man is telling me that he does not see us in the top 4. We are too far out. We are 12 points off the top. These people are 28 and this one at 30, and we on 18, right? I say, here what? I said there are 25 games to go. He said, but you have to remember people below you might be winning, and then people below you, so it will be tough. I said, let me tell you something. I said, Chelsea has done it and crawled back into the top 4. Liverpool has done it. United has done it countless times. City did it last year to come on with the title. Come now, man. You know how this game of football goes.
I only had one. I had one word to tell some people yesterday that didn't think Manchester United would be actually an Arsenal supporter that felt that Arsenal would finish above us in the table. And my words to him was, talk to me at the end of December. You talk
At the
about
end of the season.
yeah? Right at the end of December, I expect Manchester United to be above Arsenal. We might be in the top 4 yet, but we're going to be very close. So, guys, this is President Chad, Devin, Raul, Antonio, looking ahead out. As I say, stay tuned. We got a lot of nice things coming on the channel. So continue to support what we're doing. And remember, Red Devils, we don't die. We multiply.
We
Good night,
multiply.
everybody.
Yes.